Entonces, como estábamos conversando, vamos a tener que salir a Rumichaca para hacer el tema de ingresar con los chicos y con Jill con un sello de visa T3, que es un permiso por 90 días al Ecuador. Entonces, los chicos pueden ingresar sin ningún problema. Ellos no les van a cobrar multa porque son menores de edad. El trámite consiste en lo siguiente. Para cruzar de Ecuador a Colombia hay un puesto fronterizo en Ecuador. Tienes que estar en ese puesto fronterizo y hacer poner un sello de salida. Sales a territorio colombiano cruzando el puente y en territorio colombiano hay un puesto fronterizo de migración de Colombia. Te van a poner un sello de entrada a Colombia. Tienes que obligatoriamente estar 1 o 2 días en Colombia y vuelves a Ecuador con un sello que te ponen allí en el mismo puente, en el mismo puesto fronterizo colombiano, que es un sello de salida de Colombia. Entras a Ecuador y previo a entrar a Ecuador, que es donde te van a poner un sello T3 por 90 días para Jill y los chicos, ellos van a pasar sin ningún problema porque, como te expliqué, no necesitan ellos pagar la multa. Pero en el caso de Jill se pueden dar dos cosas. Puede que te obliguen a pagar la multa antes de cruzar a Ecuador, o puede que te den el paso a Ecuador y que te den un documento que es la multa y que tengas que pagar aquí en el Ecuador. Eso es lo que puedo informarte en cuanto al tema de las T3 con los chicos y con Jill.
Sí.
Ok, Brian, está completo, estamos con el primer paso listo. Hasta ahora, ok.
If any of you are wondering why we decided to do a cultural curiosity video about renewing our passport visas, watch this video and you'll find out. Okay, Megan, you ready to go to Colombia today? Rise and shine, big guy. We're going to Colombia today.
I know.
Good morning, Jana fans. We're going to Colombia today. Can you show us what's in your backpack?
One stuffed animal.
Okay, gotta have him.
One horse. One headphone case. My Kindle. A brush and lipstick.
Lipstick?
Everybody, we are heading off on another cultural curiosity. The family's all packed and we are headed to the border of Colombia because we have to renew our passports.
Our visas.
Our visas, our tourist visas. So, kids, what are you looking forward to most on this cultural adventure?
Watching. Yeah.
Watching what?
Watching your devices?
Yeah, movies.
Movies.
Oh, okay.
Well, what I'm nervous about is I've heard there's really long lines, and I don't want to stand in line for 10 hours or something just trying to get through. Any other thoughts or comments?
You forgot the trash on the roof again.
Gotta find a trash can. Shoot, there's one right up here.
All right, let's go.
the city of Tulcan, Ecuador, is not very far from the city of Ipiales, and in the middle is the border. It's less than 5 minutes from the border.
Okay, so if we left the hotel at 6, they're probably not going to have breakfast until 7. So we're going to have to eat breakfast in Colombia.
Yeah. Assuming we can find something.
So we have to cross through the border. If we get to the border at 6 and wait in line or do whatever we have to do, it's going to take, I would assume, at least an hour, maybe
Yeah.
not. It depends on how many people. That's why they say the earlier you get there, the better.
Right.
But I'm not concerned about going into Colombia. I'm concerned about coming back to Ecuador
Right.
as far as the lines go. So I don't want to be in Colombia for too long. So the earlier we cross over,
Right.
because we need it. He said we need to spend 2 hours
Right.
in Colombia at least.
So cross at 6 and just come back at 8.
Cross at 6, eat breakfast, buy
a few things.
buy a few things, and then get back to the border at 8. And I'm hoping the lines aren't going to be long. I tried to search on the internet to get an idea of the time frame. All the posts I found were from a year ago, and they said it depends on what time you come, and this was a year ago.
What time of year you come?
I mean, what time of day you come. I'm sorry. What time of day you come, and they recommend the earlier the better.
Okay.
And your wait time can be anywhere from 2 hours to 10.
Getting through the border?
Yes, coming through back into Ecuador.
Where did you
This
read
was
that?
a year ago. Just some travel blogs I
Was that when
looking up.
Venezuelan migration was really heavy?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it has to be heavy for the last couple of years, right? I mean,
Has been.
but I think that it's going to be a little better now because President
Right.
of Ecuador
Lenin
has said,
Moreno.
yes, he said that now all Venezuelans coming in have to have their background check.
Right.
So because of that, that's almost impossible for them to obtain very quickly. They're not just going to be flooding in. They have to get that paper. So I've heard there's a
Right.
lot of camps now just on the
Yeah.
Colombia side, and people are waiting. But I'm assuming that some will still be in line trying to get through without that letter.
Okay, so I think we cross at 6, eat breakfast, and come back at 8. I think that's the only option that we've got. I'm most concerned about the car because in most border crossings you have to get a certification or some sort of a letter to be able to take a vehicle into another country. The lawyer said it wasn't going to be a problem, so we'll see.
Well, do you think we should go earlier, like leave our hotel at 5 and try and come back at 7? That hour could make, coming an hour earlier could save us like 5 hours of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
I'm worried. That's the
fine
only
with
thing
that.
I'm worried about. I don't want to stand in line with the kids for
Hours and hours.
hours and hours and hours.
Right. And the thing that I'm hoping for most is that they don't give us the fine that we're actually due by crossing over before.
My fine. I'm the one that's
Your
due.
fine, right? And what's the amount? It was 2 salaries, 2 basic
Two
salaries,
basic salaries.
which is like $600.
Oh no, they said we could do a deposit. We don't have that cash.
No, we do it later. Yeah.
They said we could deposit that money. But I
Find
think you
out.
have a point. You have a point. We're just telling them you can't hold us hostage in your country just because our visas are expired. We have to be able to travel, and
If you guys would have given us an appointment sooner,
Yeah.
we would have done it.
we made the appointment back in June
Right. We made the appointment in June. It took 8 months. To,
because of their influx of.
Right, and that's not our fault.
Migrant, no.
Please have mercy on us.
Said that there are people that try and offer bribes or do things to try and get you through the front of the line, for example, or
Officials?
no, not officials, just
Okay.
people that try and work the system to get money.
Right.
So we have to avoid that situation because that could put us in further trouble.
Daddy, why do we have to have borders?
Why do we have to have borders? That's a very good question. In fact, that is such a good question. Let's ask the jammers that question. Why do we have to have borders? Why do we have lines between countries? Why do we do so much clan-like behavior in our society in this 2019? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Write those down in the comments below. Why do we have to have borders? Great question, Andy.
Roasting hot in here because we have no air conditioning.
Yeah.
Thanks for fixing the heater though.
Yeah,
The heater was broken, stuck on for the last year. And every time we take a trip, It'd be fine if the heater wasn't on. So thanks for fixing it, honey.
You're welcome. So on our way to Colombia, we are going through the town of Ibarra, which is the town where we planted our 87th church plant through our ministry, Ardeo Global. And the church is has been going for about 4 years now, and it is up on the left here. And I'm not exactly sure when church starts, but it looks like the parking lot's already full, so we may be maybe 15 minutes past actual starting time. So let's go in and worship.
Agarrarlo.
All right, guys, how was that bathroom experience?
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Why, Andy?
The floor had pee.
Had pee, and what are you waving at?
The flies.
There's still
the
flies
bugs.
in
There's bugs everywhere. Should we continue on?
Yes.
Yes.
In our bathroom.
Colombian border. We left at 8 o'clock this morning. It's now almost 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we had lots of stops though. It said anti-narcotics on this.
Yep, this is where
Coat.
everything comes in from Colombia. Good and
there
bad.
is a long line here.
Del Machado, that's where we're staying.
Is Shirley staying there with us?
Shirley? I'm not sure who Shirley
It
is.
says
All right, Jill, tell us where we're at.
We are at a chicken restaurant, and it's 7:30 at night. The kids are really tired.
You tired?
All for the low price of, well, I was just stirring my soup and I saw I have chicken foot soup. Yes, I have chicken foot in my soup.
Yeah.
It's called chicken foot soup.
Chicken foot soup. Good morning, kids.
Daddy.
It's time to get up. Good morning, big guy. You guys ready to go to Colombia? Monkey. Ready to go to Colombia?
Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for the food that we're gonna eat really soon here. Please help for us for it to be enough. And please help for the car trip to the border of Colombia to go well and with no problems and not a very long line, and that we don't have to wait very long to get in and go out. Amen.
Alright, I don't even know what we're supposed to do. Puente Internacional Rumichaca. I think we need to go into some office somewhere. Listen, here's the deal.
Okay.
They are saying that if we leave, that Jill will be fined the $788,
Right.
and they're saying we have to get a special visa, and they're going to require a bunch of paperwork, like the apostille of the criminal background check and all the stuff. Did you bring any of that?
No.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so that's what they're saying.
So we can't leave.
Well, I mean, we need to talk to Benjamin. Hopefully he'll answer the phone. Hey girls, what are we doing?
We're having a slumber party.
At 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Why
We're
is
still
that?
tired. We feel like we've stayed up all night. Because we went to the border this morning and no luck. Well, we could go through, but we'd have to come back in and pay a fine, which we knew about that. But they're also requesting documentation we don't have. So we're kind of stuck.
So if we went through, we could be stuck on the other side.
Yeah, that's true. And that would be really bad. That's not worth the risk because our home is in Ecuador.
So we'll just wait for the lawyer to call us back and tell us what to do.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch some Netflix.
Okay, enjoy your slumber party,
For-
girls.
And it's cold, so we're under the covers.
Here we are having some breakfast, waiting for the attorney to get back with us to tell us what we're supposed to do. They said there's no reason why you can't leave and then come back in. If you pay the multa, then just leave and come
Did
back
you
in.
ask to
Give
make
you
sure
10
that it's
days.
only me and not the kids that have to pay the multa?
The kids don't have to pay.
Yeah. But we don't have to call that people.
No.
Sure. 7 pounds. 8 ounces. 9 ounces, I think. Guess what? We haven't even left Ecuador yet.
Left the country yet.
But we're on our way. Closer now.
One
Yes.
guy says one thing, the next guy says another thing. And we did get the fine. It's $788. And so we have to go back to town now, which is 10 minutes away, to an ATM to pull out the cash because we don't have that much cash on us. Come back, pay the fine, then we can cross and then come back into Ecuador. And hopefully
Hopefully that
we
won't
don't have
take
any
too long.
problems in Colombia, because it is possible, if one of the guys was correct, that we're gonna have to.
Caballero,
Sí.
buenas. ¿A dónde se dirigen, señores?
Tulcán,
¿De dónde vienen? ¿A dónde se van?
Tulcán,
Son de Tucán.
pasamos toda la mañana aquí tratando de salir.
Sí. Ajá.
Entonces estacionamos y damos la vuelta nomás. And so one of the guys said that we're gonna have to have a bunch of
Paperwork, background
with
check.
apostilles, which is not a simple process. So if he's correct, we're gonna be stuck in Colombia. I don't think he's correct though. I think he's just a low man on the pole, and we'll be able to come back in. So we'll see.
Okay, so here we are. Finally paid the fine, and we are driving into Colombia. So do we have to stop and get our passports?
So everybody I've talked to says if you're just going to Ipiales, which is about 5 minutes across the border, we don't even have to get immigration done in Colombia. We don't have to get a stamp for our car, nothing. So we're just gonna drive in and see if that's actually true.
How do we know if that's true or not?
I guess
we'll
if
find
we
out here.
get arrested, we'll know.
We are heading towards Ipiales. You've been in Colombia for 10 minutes. I don't know. But it's been an hour since we've had our passport stamped, so we feel like we're cleared to go back into Ecuador. Colombia side, driving into Ecuador. Uh-oh. And we're trying to get out of here, but we went back to the immigration office and learned that we have to wait at least 3 hours to come back into Ecuador. Honey. And then we
Hola, jefe. Gracias.
see, they know us now. They're just waving us through.
So if you've liked this video, smash the like button down below. And if you'd like to see more crazy, stress-inducing adventures like this one, go ahead and subscribe, and then click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time there is a new video that comes out.
Okay, here we are for the, I don't even know what number, 5th time today?
Now they're making us go back to Colombia, enter into Colombia, and exit Colombia in order to come back and exit Ecuador. What a fiasco.
We're in line to go into Colombia.
And then
They
what?
wouldn't let us go into Ecuador
then
until we
leave
go into
Colombia.
Colombia.
And then
We need to
back
get
to
our
Ecuador.
passport stamped twice. An entrance and then exit Colombia.
What are the odds you think they'll let us do that right in a row?
Not the odds? I don't know. We're going to be praying that we can. Probably
We'll find out.
50-50, maybe.
We'll find
We have
out.
a pet traveling with us.
How are your kids doing with all this?
My feet hurt.
Your feet hurt?
It's pretty boring.
No.
Pretty boring. But I feel worse for the little babies. There's a lot of little babies here. It's a lot harder for them than it is for us.
So we got our entrance into Colombia, and now he's saying we need to wait. He said 3 hours, then he said an hour and a half, and then he said an hour to come
half
back
an
out of Ecuador. So we're just gonna get back in line and try to come out. All right, everybody, show me your new visas. You got back into Ecuador, and we're all set. Okay, so everybody do the happy dance. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
To see a man who's
Itching
being
her eye.
pulled. His bicycle.
Decirlo un poco más rápido.
Más.
Porque quiero que sea muy intensivo.
Ok.
What?
You're going to delete that.
Jana, that wasn't very happy.
Just be done.